Holy shit! The cruise control works. Silence on the motorway.
Previously on backroadhero.
Well folks, I'm Ed, this is backroadhero, welcome back to the channel. It's possibly the start of an adventure with an e38 740i.
Lot 191, the BMW, have a look at this one, the 740 individual, what a cracking car, look at that. 4,009 bill, provisionally sold, all done at 4,900. Provisional sale room.
So exciting times ahead. Nothing more exciting about going to collect a new car, and none more so if you've actually bought it at auction. Neither of us have had a chance to drive the cars. Neither of us have actually heard them running. Unlike if you buy it privately, you'll have at least had a test drive and you'll have had played with the switches, checked the aircon and stuff like that. So there are still a few unknowns on the whole thing. You can only do so much, but I suppose that's why you're taking on the gamble and the risk, and that's why you're not quite paying the full private or the full retail value for your car. So there's an element of risk involved, but the upside is you can get a car at a reasonable price and fix or get fixed what you need to at professional services. So if you buy a car from a dealer, they may well have just tarted it up and moved it on. At least if you find out yourself, you've paid accordingly and you've left a little bit of wiggle room and you've held something back to spend some money on the car. So that's effectively what it's all about. All for a 7 Series with individual paint, individual interior, and only 85,000 miles on it with one owner plus the supplying dealer from new. Well, here we are, Anglia Car Auctions pickup day, Wednesday. Das Boot, there it is behind me. Well, we had a little bit of drama where it wouldn't actually fire up. We depowered it at the battery and then put it back on again. And it seems to have kicked into life. So maybe a little bit temperamental, maybe just a little bit of a lack of use. Need to stop off at the fuel station on the way home because it's on the little light. Not sure if anything works yet. Certainly the sunroof does. Can't tell anything else at the moment. But initial impressions are good. For a 25-year car, after all, I'm going to really enjoy the drive home. So das Boot, it lives, yeah. Genuine first drive. We had a little issue with it starting. It could have just been a flat battery. It might just have been getting low. I did a bit of a naughty. I stopped at Tesco's, did pay at pump, and left the car running just in case. So first impressions, the temperature is stabilized straight up. The fuel gauge, it reads. Pay a pump, you can do a maximum of 99 quid. That's where it stopped. And we're not even full yet, so Lord knows, I think it's a 95 litre tank on this, and at current rates it's probably 140 quid to fill this thing, which means it should have a fairly good range, but it's reminiscent. This takes me home. It really does. It reminds me of my dad's 7 Series, the e38. It reminds me of the e36 and the e46 that I raced. So it's a lovely place to be. Electric seats work. The sunroof works. There we go. I'm not going to try the other one because the camera's on that, but it looks like electrically it's fairly sound. We've got the park distance works, the ASC button works. It smells like an old car with some leather. So let's get it down the road and see where we're at. It's really really quite exciting, I have to say. There, I'll get some fresh air in. I'm not really sure if I'm stoked. I have to say, this is a thing of absolute beauty. It's kind of, how much fun can you have on a budget? It's not. Sorry if the camera's moving around a little bit. It's one of these gyro stabilized things, and it doesn't like roundabouts. Oh, right. So I'm just going to run the cameras right the way through until the battery runs out. That's my intention. I was going to put some merch on, but got carried away. Just, if you haven't seen, we've launched some new merchandise on the website. I'll put the link below, and I'll splash a little thing up on the screen here. Go and get your t-shirts, your mugs, your hats, your tote bags, and everything else. So if you don't know by now, all the cars have their own playlists. That's it. And this one will have it from the auction all the way through. And as I said, I've got plans for this car. Ultimately, we'd like to get it to Munich, or just outside Munich, where the factory is. I don't know why I've got two sets of lights. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. It's one on the left, one on the right. No idea. If anybody knows, please let me know. Because the lights, they seem on at the moment. Oh no, that's the fog light. Of course it is. It's front fogs, rear fogs on the left-hand side, and it's the normal light switch. So this thing is double glazing, and it's super quiet, and it's super smooth. It drives beautifully. Let's get it over into manual, sport. There's 4, 3, and 5. So it's got the 5-speed auto box. That's into manual, down into 3, and back into normal full auto again. This is so enjoyable. I know I've got some nice cars at home, but this is the big daddy of them all. This could possibly be the best luxury saloon ever made. It feels like it's hewn from solid rock, I have to say. It's solid, it's got presence on the road, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Got this kind of two-tone beige thing going on in the interior. Got a nice little spot for my phone to sit with my Waze. Maybe that's all I need. Maybe all I need, we're talking about an upgrade, because I kind of love the retroness of the telly and stuff like that. I believe you can get an upgrade for the TV to put it into digital. So I believe there's a company in the UK that does the kind of the digital upgrades for the old analog tellies and these things. So that might be interesting to pursue. And then if I can just get some streaming Bluetooth and a hands-free for the car, you know what? Maybe that's all you'll ever need. So let's see if I can adjust. I love the wing mirrors because they've got that classic little rolled edge that kind of lets you see round corners. That's nice. It's on both sides. Not sure if they're heated or not. You'd like to hope that they would be. So this is a whole learning experience for me. So there is the cruise control. Let's see. Holy shit! The cruise control works. Man! Sorry, did I just curse there? I did. Good God, those little stepper motors, they always go. And that's wonderful. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man, that's just fantastic. So we have the executive cruiser here. Oh man, I am just over the moon with this car, I have to say. I've never been so delighted to see cruise control working in a car in my life. You know, it's you know what? It's testament to the previous owner of this car. There was it was spec'd by a dealer, hence all the fancy stuff, and it was then bought about 6 months later. The car's May '96. In November of that year, it was sold to its first and only owner, and I am the second owner of this car, albeit 26 years almost from when the car was new. Talk about depreciation. This car was 50 grand when it was new. That's a princely sum. It was about 2/3 of the cost of my first house, around about that same time. It's always, you know what, it's like that first date. You don't quite know, you know, looks really good on the good on the outside, but can they hold a conversation? Are they funny? And are they going to stab you whilst you're sleeping? you just don't know. It's those first tentative steps into a relationship, kind of getting to know you. And to be honest, that's kind of what it is with me. I kind of fall in love with the cars. No, it's a different sort of love, obviously, to my wife, but I'm just thinking we could have such a wonderful relationship. This is really quite exciting. It's I've always wanted one of these. Always wanted one of these, and it's just a thing of absolute beauty. So let's see if we can get it out of the roundabout here. Oh, and she goes. And she goes. Okay, happy with that. Right, so right now, at this point in time, I do not know of one thing that is not working in the car. I even pressed the air conditioning on when the car was idling, and it raised the revs, which means that the car is recognizing that the air conditioning has been commanded on. Now, it's really hard to tell because the outside air temperature is 12 degrees here. Really difficult to turn it on full low. But you know what? Maybe a bit of a regas, but oh man, this is so exciting, so exciting. It's maybe just me that gets excited about cars, and I love the kind of the trip computer here. It's brown and beige to kind of match the rest of the interior. It's yeah. Oh man alive! This is Das Boot. This is my 7, eh? I don't know what else to say really. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to convey how quiet and smooth. There's the sunroof. There it is. That works. One touch close, of course. This is where it's meant to be. Right. Let's see. We have got squirts, and we have got left-handed windscreen wipers. Okay. On the left side we have got. I don't know. Dare I press it? We got the cycle through. Okay, so we've got the trip computer on the dash here. The range is 369 miles, and we are between the 3/4 and the 1-to-1. So we've got, do I have a limit set? I don't know if I can set a limit on this one. No. Right, I'll find out, but now is not the time to do that. So we've got the average consumption here at the moment, 12.4, but it was sat idling for quite a time at Anglia whilst I did the little chats to camera and a bit of a walk around. So once we got it started, it ain't being switched off even at the petrol pumps. You know what? Cup holders, these always break. That works. Onboard computer, aux ventilation. Don't know what that's all about. Back to the onboard computer. And the cruise control is still behaving itself. Maybe it was never used in this car. Maybe it was just driven short journeys without the cruise. Because I know that the little tracks on the motor itself, they kind of corrode and wear out that little bit. And then it throws the whole thing into, especially around about 70 miles an hour. But it's a mechanical cruise control. It's not the modern electronic ones that you get, like the modern ECUs when they're drive-by-wire, etc., etc. Now, the brakes, I do notice they're not spongy, but they're not as sharp as possibly I am used to. That could just be a function of the car, but it also could be a function of the fact that there's a little bit of corrosion on the brakes. So maybe fresh discs and pads all round wouldn't go amiss. I'm going to get it up on the ramp. I'm going to pull the wheels off. I'm going to have a good route around. I'm really glad that this is a pre-Vanos car. Don't need to worry about that. I'm really glad that it's the M62 engine. And it doesn't have the Nikasil coatings on the barrels to worry about. So all positives. It's not a sport model, even though it's got the M Sport parallel alloys, which means it doesn't have the active suspension dampers, electronic ones, on the top of the turrets. So that's good, because a lot of people swap out the more modern system back to what we have here. But it's driving impeccably. If I'd one slight criticism, the steering wheel is very slightly off center, but it's not pulling in any particular direction. You know what? First impressions are absolutely awesome. Future plans would be to give me some sort of interactivity with the phone, some streaming Bluetooth, etc., etc., and some hands-free car. At this point, I'm not sure that I'm going to go for full 10 1/4 kind of X-Trons upgrade. This kind of retro look with a tape deck. It's got the CD changer in the boot. You know what? That's good enough for me. I'm liking the vibe. I'm kind of digging the kind of the 80s thing. But I'm looking forward to mostly the kind of trips that we're going to take. This is a big cruiser after all, big tanks, big range, and I really want to do some traveling in it. Maybe even bring the dogs along, and we can get certainly into Bavaria, go to Munich and the factory just outside of Munich where it was actually built. That would be a nice trip, just an excuse. And at the end of the day, that's kind of all we ever need, is an excuse to do something, whether it be a cup of coffee or going out for a meal or anything else. So that's it, a very quick update. Das Boot is bought. The boat is sailing. You don't so much drive this car as sail in it. So thanks for watching. Hit the old likey, subscribey thing. There'll be a playlist for this car, so you can tune into that. If you've just jumped in, there's a previous video all about the auction process and how we actually come to buy this car, or rather we kind of stole it at auction, I think. Thanks for watching. All the best now. Bye bye.
Next time stranded.
Well then, when things start to go too well for their own good, then they fail. The journey home last night was going so well that we decided to stop off at a little pub for a celebratory drink. I got out of the car, tried to start it again when we were going home, and nothing happened.